Being perfect in the divine order has everything to do with poor fact. The fact on how the poor are treated, pouring the facts, Leopold the leopard, okay? And also rape fact. Western culture has a rape cult foundation. Listen very carefully. There is no viable counter argument, I promise you. Poor fact, okay? Zeus, a rapist deity, he assisted Romulus in driving back the Sabines. Look up the rape of the Sabines. The Roman people went out and took a bunch of attractive Sabine women, and a bunch of Sabine women in general, relative to their pecking order, their picking order. They raped them, and they fought their family members to keep them at bay. Kind of reminds you of colonialism in general. Zeus is this idea that they draw on to help them fight these people. That's what they mean by Zeus assisted them. It's this idea they tap into. Right, they do little rituals, psychological rituals, they tap into it, they get in the spirit of Zeus, and they use technology and they drive these people back. Apollo, the deity of technology, authorizes colonialism and all the rape therein. Poseidon protects the sailors on the way there. Okay, a bunch of rape cult guys using technology, authorized with the rape cult deity. Poseidon is also a rapist. Zeus uses illusion to rape. He rape, changes in this thing, changes in this thing. He understands the system and he understands how to trick people. He's a secret society, mystery, mist to confuse, rapist. Then there's Gaia. The poor are said to be down to earth. Gaia is the mother of typhoon. They talk about being grounded in the New Age. Ground. G is another name for Gaia or key. Sumer as well, called Gaia this, Gaia means land or earth. Grounded, G round, round. Gaia is depicted as a bigger, European-looking woman, okay. Where I saw the depiction, okay. And I think this is very significant because the earth is massive, it's round, and so on and so forth. All right, so G round, ground. Okay, what's it about? About her son, Typhoon, one of her most significant offspring, is compared with the Egyptian deity Set. Now remember, all these people are the children of Set. Chaos and anarchy, force, inevitability, compulsion, necessity. All this is bullshit excuses for them to make the army of hell. The idea of the Greco-Roman deities is creating the army of hell. So when we look at Jupiter, Juno, Jew, Juju, Jew and Jew, right? You call them Jew for short. Jew and Jew, Juju, meaning witchcraft. Ujo rather, backwards O, reproductive cycle of the witchcraft doing people, the Juju, the hex on the Israel flag. Now, I'm not anti-Semite, I'm a Jew that they should have sided with. Instead, they're siding with the traitor, ballless Jews. But I'll leave that alone in this video. Anyway, so you have Juju, it's witchcraft. Who is in charge of this stuff is the people who are in the spirit of the Pharisees, who were hypocrites and always demanded the places of honor and to be in charge. We know who they are by the celebrities. They're the stars, the cosmos, cosmetics are connected. Okay, so it's a rape cult foundation, and to them, it is non-negotiable. And Zeus's son, right, who's a mix of his brother, okay, is Serapis, Osiris, Apis, and Hades. When we look at it, he's best described as Zeus' son, especially when we compare it to Zagreus. Long story. Anyway, Serapis' sea rape is. Look at Psyche. She's in a trance. Psychology. Like everyone's in a trance. They're putting substances in the food. They're encouraging them to eat fast food and things that don't allow them to be healthy. Not enough water is being consumed. Not enough vegetables. Not a healthy diet. Except for when we look at the yuppie areas, where these social controllers live, then we have superfoods next to European wax centers to make people fill up with lust and to make the people feel inferior if they can't get these harlots who have accepted this rape cult culture on the higher levels. Pure, despicable Eve. In fact, Eve is a play on words for evil, because the suggestibility and the insistence on defying the core of righteousness and the accompanying principles is evil. And that's what Eve represents in the Bible. It's the moral of the story. It doesn't matter if the Bible's true or not. The moral in terms of morality and righteousness is true. And if you die accepting evil instead of those core morals in their pure form, you are evil. You are like Eve. Eve is your Lord. Whether Gaia or whether Hera or Aphrodite, who curses Psyche to fall in love with the most despicable men. Psychology. And then, of course, Cupid, and he's an archer. He's injecting things like a needle being injected into you. Okay, and there's all kinds of connections with pharmakeia and the pharmaceutical industry. So again, watch the video 10 times. There's a few ideas. Take notes, okay? Pause it every fucking 10 seconds if you have to. Okay? It's a rape cult foundation. We have a senate in the Roman style. Jupiter is said to establish cities all over the world, basically, where they have a government that pays homage and obeys the Jupiter foundation of the system. That's also why there's pagan holidays in the Roman tradition. In fact, romance and Roman are connected. Roman, and it also goes back to an Egyptian pharaoh Ra that they misrepresent with their witchcraft for the same reason. Obi, which means King Heart Hut Temple, Sol, the King of Kings, the true King of all humanity, is they superimpose the idea of witchcraft, juju. So they call juju Obi to confuse you about who the true king is. Even the word Obi in the English language is reproductive cycle B. O-B, the O, the winged disc of Ra, which only the pharaoh could identify with. And they democratized the pharaoh's power with Osiris, which is basically a bunch of Set-worshipping cult, Roman, Western-style cults, okay, who are basically saying that they're going to take this story of Horus and do it in a way that they feel good about themselves. They see themselves as Osiris and Set, duality, a dual kind of personality. The part of Set inside of them kills the Osiris part. They sleep with the unsuspecting woman or their cult-trained harlot, and then they have a child who they say, my child's a good person, go get him, champ, and act like a bitch. This has nothing to do with connecting to God. It has everything to do with rape, cult, evil. It's their rape, cult foundation. Look up Harpocrates and Isis and Horus as they pertain to Europe. And Horus being dressed in the Roman armor that was similar to the armor they used when they were crucifying Jesus. What don't you get? It is unnatural. Jesus came to bring a sword. What kind of sword? A sharp double-edged sword for surgical strikes in the generational spirit form and of the African pharaoh martial artist. Not the Terra form, which is the G form, the Gaia form, the Zeus form, this bigger kind of European shape. Not the Apollo skinny lumberjack liberal shape either, vegan shape, etc. And not the people who go the distance to try to be shaped like me. They are Luciferian imposters. It is a rape cult foundation. They are Luciferian, less than men children. That's why it's called Babylon, baby lion. Again, Jupiter, who is Zeus's Roman counterpart, Jew, pit. They go down to the pit. Look it up in Proverbs and Psalms. They sink down to the pit as nations, as individuals, by doing the wrong thing and organizing their evil. They're Pharisee hypocrites. Which Jews? The Pharisees.